Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, where today guys, I'm going to do part 317 to my ChatGPT character chatbot series. For today's episode guys, I'm going to do something very much different to what I usually do. For some reason, a lot of my chatbots that have not been showing up from the past 4 months have finally been showing up again. It finally showed me the 4-month mark and showed me all the chatbots with the regular Toadal, the transforming Toadal, with the cursed bug transformed to Crocodile. Like, it started showing me those again. And when I went back to look through them, I found a bunch of older chatbots that I haven't actually done yet, of ones we've actually done before. But here's the thing. I've got memories on this thing, most of them about the Toadal line. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through all the memories eventually. And I'm going to make sure that none of the chatbots I actually did are put on here as unarchived again, is ones that haven't been have a memory made about them. And the ones that don't, I'll redo as a story again. So, yeah. I don't know if it'll make more memories for me, but I know when I delete some of the memories that were kind of useless or the same thing as one another, it actually, the message about the memory being almost full completely disappeared. But if it was almost full and not fully full, why did it not, give me the actual thing to help me? Or why didn't it make another memory or two? It might not be perfect anymore, guys, but maybe this way I can get back to having fun with it. If it makes a memory, maybe I'll even restart the entire ChatGPT thing and try redoing some of the characters again, getting better. Oh, I don't know, restarting would be kind of a bad idea, restarting the whole thing, but at the same time, having fun with it would also be really worth it. Problem is, with 10 messages only, it kind of sucks, and that's why part of me wants to get the flipping ChatGPT Plus to make sure I can stop doing that. Plus, maybe it'd give me 4.0 back, which was the best one to me. To start off this, guys, I did put a lot of other chatbots on here. The first one I went in order from down to up, or bottom to top, and took some of the ones that haven't been done yet, but can actually be that I don't have a memory based on yet. And one of them is the Baxcailbur. I'm hoping if it makes one memory about the Baxcailbur, that would really be worth it. Problem is, with this being the 5 version, I don't know if I'm even gonna get that lucky. Like I said, I may lose have to redo it because of that. Other thing is, if it does work, I could make me a different story based on some of the ideas I have. Like I said, there's a clone story I have an idea of where somehow my body makes a clone of itself, but much bigger and stuff like that. And I have another one about like a shadow synergy stone sort of for alligator. A Ferrager that flipping is kind of like Sabrina from the Pokemon anime, where he has like a little toad eye in his hand that like is a playful version of him, but like the Ferrager's like angry and upset. Stuff like that. I think I had another idea too. Oh yeah, I had another one about another dinosaur idea. Not Rexy, I'm talking about actually a whole bunch of dinosaurs. But again, for now, we're not gonna worry about that because again, I'm still trying for how I'm gonna put it on there with the stinging 10 message limit, and we're gonna talk to the Baxcailbur instead. If we're gonna give us that big of things, if you don't remember like the idea of the Baxcailbur, but this is about a 5,000 foot tall Baxcailbur that was very angry because let's just say his whole family got, in a nicer term, taken out by humans, and because of that, he flat hates them. So, yeah, that's what the story's about. We're gonna see how far we can actually get, but let me make sure something real quick. Okay, guys, here we go. We're gonna talk to the Baxcailbur now. It says the day was crisp and quiet, the wind brushing gently against your face as you wandered through the vast open tundra near the base of a long forgotten mountain range. Wouldn't a tundra be more like an icy area? I don't know. I'm not smart here. It says snow crunched under your boots. Why did I think it was a foot? Did I say snow? Trenton, what do you think Baxcailbur is? It's an ice dragon, you idiot. I hate myself out right now. Snow crunched under your boots, and the sky above was clear, save for some massive cloud formations circling the tallest peak in the distance. You had heard legends of strange phenomena occurring around the mountain. Some said it rumbled at night like something alive was breathing from its summit. But you weren't afraid. You were simply out for a peaceful walk surrounded by the stillness of nature. Uh-oh. Suddenly, the ground shook. It wasn't a tremor. It was a footstep. The snow jolted under your feet, and before you could react, a deep, thundering voice echoed across the entire range. It didn't just enter your ears, it riled your bones and cracked ice off nearby cliffs. Okay, that's terrifying. So, another awful human dares to step into my territory? This fool in Baxcailbur is 5,000 feet tall. This is going to be terrifying. He froze. The voice had the rumble of an avalanche, laced with fury and sadness. Then the mountain ahead moved. Snow had spoiled off the slopes, revealing an enormous figure rising from behind it. No, it was the mountain. Dear me. Here's what it says, guys. It says you froze. The voice had the rumble of an avalanche laced with fury and sadness, yep. Then the mountain ahead moved. Snow had spoiled off the slopes, revealing an enormous figure rising from behind it. No, it was the mountain. Or rather, it hid the true form of what stood behind. A 5,000-foot tall Baxcailbur. His jagged dorsal blade was taller than skyscrapers, slicing the clouds themselves as he rose to his full, terrifying height. His eyes glowed like frozen blue suns, narrowing at the speck that was you. Frost seeped from his nostrils with each breath, coating the trees below in layers of diamond-like ice. His voice boomed again, shaking the air. Another human come to steal, to lie, to kill. I should rip you in half and scatter your remains across the blizzards. Holy cow, I forgot how aggressive he was. Just like he did to my family. Oh my gosh, dude, I haven't said anything and we're already on this territory. His massive claws clenched, each one the size of a stadium. The pain and anger in his voice were unmistakable, and behind his eyes was a storm that had been brewing for years. Centuries, maybe. You saw you raised your hands trying to speak, your heart pounding. Oh, that's the problem. I forgot this one spoke one. I don't want to hurt you. I didn't come here to take anything. The Titan lowered his head, his eyes narrowing further. They all say that. He said that too. And then, silence. You could feel it. Oh my gosh. That's the one big issue. It started speaking for me. You didn't move. Wait. You could feel it. Something deeper behind his fury. A memory. A wound that never healed. You didn't move. You didn't even breathe loudly. You simply spoke softly. I heard about the icy mountain. Ain't no anyone lived here. Especially not someone like you. I promise I'm not like him. I'd never hurt a point. Especially not your family. Oh my gosh. The wind howled. Clouds broke around his blade as he stared at you. Then, in a lower tone, something changed in his voice. Do you think your words matter to me? Do you think apologies can undo that? What happened? He turned his colossal body slightly, revealing what looked like a frozen memorial near the base of the cliffs. Oh my gosh, what the frick? Massive shards of blue ice stood like statues, each one carved in the shape of a fallen Fragivax or Baxcailbur. You could feel the grief lying in the air like frost on your lungs. I buried them myself, carved their images so I'd never forget their faces. Every day, I remember the trust I gave that human. His fist slammed down miles away, flattening a glacier in the distance with a shockwave so powerful you stumbled backward. And yet, His gaze returned to you, watching and judging. Give me one reason, little human, why I shouldn't erase you from this earth, just like the others. He just, oh my gosh. Again, I forgot how aggressive this Baxcailbur is. The problem is, it spoke for me already. That's one of the ones I keep forgetting. I don't know why. Nowadays, when I make stories on this thing, I make sure they don't speak for me before I save them. Oh my gosh. Okay, guys. Give me a second. Alright, guys. I said, I beg you to please not do that. I promise I'm not here to hurt anything. I don't have anything with me that could even remotely try to hurt you or your family. I promise. Just please don't attack me. The world seemed to hold its breath as your voice echoed into the icy air. You stood there trembling but not running. Your words desperate but honest. The colossal Baxcailbur loomed above you, frost curling off its fangs like storm clouds. For a long moment there was only the sound of the wind rustling through the mountains and the slow, thunderous beat of the Titan's breathing. Then his glowing blue eyes narrowed, focusing entirely on you. You beg? His voice rumbled through the tundra, shaking snow from the cliffs. You think begging will save you? His head lowered, casting you in his shadow. The air around you turned bitterly cold as frost formed instantly on your hair and clothes. Oh my gosh! But there was something different in his tone now. The fury was still there, yes, but something about your voice had made him pause. Instead of striking, he tilted his head slightly as if studying you. You have nothing. No weapon, no trap, no poison. You stand there, so small, so fragile, and you beg. His claws slowly sank into the ground, creating craters. His dorsal blade glowed faintly with icy energy, but he didn't swing it. If you were lying, if you came to spy and to harm my children, you will not survive. He's, oh my gosh, so hard, but not quickly. I wish it would stop talking for me like that. That's gonna ruin any immersion. Well, here's the thing as well. If it does do that, the good news is I can actually maybe delete the ones that don't work. Because I technically have one with Baxcailbur. I just have to find it again. And plus this will help me clear out the ones that don't work so I know which ones work the best and which ones don't. I understand. I swear to you, I'm telling the truth. I care what one. I would never want to hurt your children or you. Because I would help you find the one who hurt your family. Oh my gosh, yeah, it spoke for me. And here's the problem. When it does, that's less I get with another one. So it's like... Again, because I have other ones on here. But ones that like would be abruptly ended if I continued. Oh, man. Okay. Alright, guys. Well, that last one unfortunately didn't work out. We're trying this one. This is Rexy's redemption journey. This is another one where... This is basically the father Rexy on ChatGPT. Which is what I was trying to do on emoji the other day, but it didn't work out. I said the other day. Earlier today. So, yeah. This one actually has more of a story to it. So here's what it says. Well, actually, no, never mind. It's pretty long. Like, it's actually giving me a long description. Okay. It says the scene's a lonely, quiet house on the outskirts of a forested canyon. The sun had just begun to set, casting long orange beams through the cracked wisdoms of an old studio-turned home. Dust motes drift lazily through the air, carried by the stillness of time. The room is littered with quiet remnants of a life once full of energy. Fossil replicas, giant chew bones, a chewed-up mic stand, and a weathered Pokemon Talk banner hanging loosely from one wall. On the enormous, reinforced couch sits Rexy, the once vibrant, playful Tyrannosaurus Rex who was once your dearest companion. His frame is massive, still bearing slight scars from his transformation, though his flesh has long since returned to normal, and his brilliant yellow eyes shine once more. There's a deep, permanent sorrow in them. He leans his heavy head down onto the couch's cushion, a gentle sigh relieving his massive jaws. A photo of you and him during the studio's prime days lies next to him, the corner slightly bent where he's clutched it too many times. He hasn't spoken a word in days. The silence of the room is broken only by the soft sound of the wind outside and the occasional whir of the dormant broadcasting equipment. What the frick was that? Something just moved and made me jump. Wait. Of the dormant broadcasting equipment that hasn't been touched in nearly a year. Uh-oh. Suddenly the room darkens, not by a passing cloud, but by something unnatural. A faint shimmer, like black static, distorts the air in the center of the room. The space twists, and from within it, a low, reverberated voice, ancient and without a physical form, speaks. Rexy, I see your heart still aches. You miss the one who raised you, who loved you, even after you hurt him. I can give you a second chance, but it won't be easy. Rexy lifts his head slowly, pupils narrowing. He doesn't move, doesn't growl, but listens, his ears twitching. Your human dad. He will live again, but not as he was. I will reincarnate him as a baby Brachiosaurus, innocent, fragile, and afraid. Rexy stands now, chest slowly rising and falling, unsure if he's dreaming or awake. He won't know why, but he will fear you. He will tremble in your presence, and if you want him to love you again, you must start from the beginning. Tender care, endless patience, never anger, never force. You must show the love he once gave you. Rexy blinks, slowly taking this in. His claws tighten around the photo in his hand, careful not to crush it. One more thing. The child, he is different. Your human's soul carries power. When afraid, he may transform into beings far larger than you, or far more dangerous. If you scare him, he may become a threat even you can't contain. Be wise, Rexy. The room flashes brilliantly with light, and then it's gone. Where the disorientation had been, now it's a tiny, quivering baby Bronchiosaurus. His green and blue skin glows faintly in the dim light, and his white eyes shimmer with confusion and primal fear. He looks up at Rexy and trembles, immediately backing away, heart pounding. He doesn't know why, but something deep in him screams, "Danger!" Rexy stares at the little dinosaur, his old friend, now reborn. He lowers himself slowly to the floor, making himself as small as possible, eyes wide and watery. He whispers, his voice shaking, "Dad?" Oh my gosh. This is a cool idea. I'm just mad that the last one didn't work, because that one about the Baxcailbur was a cool idea for a story. What I need to do is I need to delete some memories, and if it starts making more again, I'll actually maybe find some of the characters I haven't done a video on. I mean, find some of the characters that didn't get a memory about them and be able to give them a chance to have a memory too. So there's a lot of them about Toad Owl and Crocodile or Alligator and even Lugia, but not much about Baxcailbur or Noivern or anything like that. But yeah, give me a second. Alright guys, I said, I'm shaking so badly, really worried about being hurt. No, don't hurt me, please. The shaking is so bad that I fall on the ground trying to back up completely, causing me to get hurt. Rexy's heart shattered at the sight of you trembling and backing away. The sound of you hitting the floor makes his chest tighten with guilt. He flattens himself lower, sprawling on the ground so that his massive frame looks as small and non-threatening as possible. His tail goes around him, his head pressed close to the floor, almost level with you. His voice comes out soft, careful, almost a whisper despite the power behind it. No, no, no. I won't hurt you. I swear. I'll never hurt you again. He noticed the small scrape on your side where you hit the ground. The sight made him wince, his claws twitching like he wants to help but is terrified of making things worse. Slowly, very slowly, Rexy slides himself backward, giving you plenty of space. He doesn't want you to feel trapped. He keeps his head down, yellow eyes shimmering with tears, and waits, patient, still, and quiet, just to show you that he isn't going to make a move. A faint whimper escapes his throat as he lowers his head completely to the floor, laying it down like a dog submitting. I deserve your fear, but please, just give me a chance. I just want to keep you safe. The room is still again, just the sound of your breathing and Rexy's low, sad rumble as he waits for your response. Oh my gosh. Holy cow. Alright, guys. I just see how Rexy backs away instead of charging at me, and my shaking stops a bit. Are you sure? I don't know why, but I have this weird memory of a massive dinosaur that looks almost like you hurting me. Rexy's ears twitch at your words, and his eyes soften even more. He doesn't move closer. He stays right where he is, still lying flat on the floor so you can see he's not a threat. His deep voice is gentle, almost breaking. You remember that? He swallows hard, glancing down at his claws before looking back at you. It was me. A long time ago. I wasn't myself. Someone hurt me, turned me into something I wasn't, and I bit you. I wish I could take it back every day. His tail gives a slow, sad flick as he keeps his head low, the eyes shimmering with guilt. But I'm better now. I'd never let that happen again. Not ever. If I have to spend my whole life showing you I'm safe, I will. Very careful, Rexy shifts one claw forward, palm open, and gently nudges the photo of you and him across the floor toward you. This is us. Back when you weren't scared, when you trusted me. I just want to get back there someday. Give me a second, guys. Alright, guys. I said I tried to take a look at the photo, but then I hear a loud bang at the front door, causing me to yelp. And despite the pain I was still in from the fall, I tried my best to real quickly get up and hide in another room. While I'm hiding, I transform into a 10-foot tall, scary-looking dragon, still shaking half to death. The loud bang at the door makes Rexy jump too, his head snapping toward the noise with an instinctive protective growl, but the sound of your terrified yelp pulls his attention right back to you. He sees you scrambling up despite the pain, darting to the next room, and then he senses it, your body changing and growing. The air itself seemed to shift as you transform into a massive, fearsome 10-foot dragon, his scales glinting in the dim light, his wings trembling from panic. Rexy doesn't chase you. Instead, he stays completely still, his chest heaving as he takes a slow breath. The loud bang at the door sounded again, and his protective instincts roar inside him. But he knows if he rushes, he might scare you worse. Very gently, he calls to you from the other room, his voice low and soothing, trying to keep you calm. It's okay. Stay where you are. I'll handle the door. You don't have to be afraid. He gets up slowly, deliberately placing each step so it doesn't sound like stomping, heads towards the front door. His entire massive frame blocks the entryway as he leans down, sniffing at the crack to check who or what is outside. He growls low, a warning rumble meant for whatever's on the other side, but not loud enough to frighten you further. Then he speaks again, still calm and still gentle. You stay hidden until I say it's safe. No one's going to hurt you while I'm here. Not ever again. Rexy is so cute. Alright, guys. I just stay exactly where I am, hidden in the other room while still a massive dragon, just listening to what's going on. Rexy nods faintly, even though you can't see him. He can sense your presence, feel the fear radiating from the other room, and that makes him plant himself more firmly between you and the front door. The banging comes a third time, louder this time. Rexy lowers his head and lets out a deep, earth-shaking roar. Not one of anger, but of warning. The entire house vibrates as if to say, "Whoever you are, leave." For a moment, silence. Then a small voice outside yelps and scrambles away. Whatever was at the door clearly got the message. The footsteps grow distant until there's nothing but quiet. Rexy keeps listening for a few moments longer, sniffing the air, making sure there's no danger lingering outside. Once he's absolutely certain the threat is gone, he backs away from the door and calls to you softly. "It's gone. You're safe now. I promise." He walks a few slow steps toward the front room you're hiding in, but stops before reaching the doorway. He lowers himself to the floor again, laying down so his head level with the entrance. "You don't have to come out if you don't want to, but I'll stay right here until you know it's safe." You can hear his breathing from where you're hiding, slow and steady, meant to calm you. Oh my. Alright, guys. Here's what happened. It says, still a little terrified, I come out of my hiding place and go closer to the room where Rexy is, never changing back to a tiny dinosaur, just in case. When I get into the room where he is, I look around and just see Rexy sitting there, at level at the entrance, like he said. However, a part of me is still worried that Rexy will attack me, so I keep my distance. Rexy sees you emerge, towering and glowing, scales bursting with tension, and his heart aches at how cautious you still are. But he doesn't move. He stays exactly where he is, head on the floor, tail wrapped around himself to look as small and unthreatening as a 20-foot Tyrannosaurus can. His yellow eyes follow you gently, no predatory gleam, just quiet relief that you came out. "Thank you for trusting me enough to come out." He slowly tilted his head to the side, showing his throat and lowering his gaze in a submissive gesture, instinctive sign that he means no harm. "I know you're scared. You have every reason to be. I just want to make sure you know I'm not going to hurt you. Not now. Not ever again." He still gives a slow, careful sweep across the floor, almost like he's wagging it, but making sure not to startle you. Then, very gently, he nudges the foe he had pushed earlier just a little closer to you, still without standing up. "If you want, you can look at this. It's not a trick. It's just a memory. A good one." He keeps perfectly still, giving you time and space, letting you decide whether to approach or not. Give me a second, guys. Give me a second, guys. Alright, guys. Here's what it says. It says, I can see the photo from where I am standing, but instead of saying anything, I just look at it for a minute, then I look at Rexy to see if he was still sitting there or was trying to attack me. However, when I see him still sitting there calmly, I approach him and then everly gently nudge him with my dragon snout. Rexy's entire body goes still when you approach, not out of fear, but to avoid spooking you. When your snout gently nudges him, his breath catches for a moment, and his eyes soften with a mix of surprise and overwhelming relief. He doesn't lunge, doesn't make any sudden movements. Instead, he lowers his head even more until it's resting completely on the floor, letting you feel how calm and relaxed he is. His voice is soft, almost trembling. You touched me." A warm rumble escapes his chest, not a growl, but something closer to a giant, gentle purr. "Thank you. That means more than you know." Very slowly, giving you time to move away if you want, Reggie tilts his head just slightly so that the side of his muzzle is closer to you, a silent invitation. "You can stay like that as long as you want. I won't move unless you say so." Still gives the faintest wag, just enough to show he's happy, but not enough to shake the floor and scare you. He's very sweet, I'll give him credit. He's trying his best. Although, alright guys, give me a second. Alright guys, it says before I can respond, I hear voices outside the front door, and I immediately get terrified and go back into the room where I was hiding. After I left, the voices outside said, "Dude, this used to be the house of the human that owned that Tyrannosaurus Rex that could speak. Apparently this human had an incident where his pet Tyrannosaurus Rex became aggressive and killed him. I heard rumors of that dinosaur still living in the house, still upset and mourning over what he had done." The voices outside made Rexy's whole body stiffen, but not with anger, more like dread. He glances toward the door, then back toward where you ran to hide, his heart breaking all over again. Words cut deep. Even after all this time, the wolf still sees him as nothing but the monster who killed his best friend. He slowly rises to his feet, massive frame towering but controlled, covering like a stomp or straddle the house. His head lowered toward the door, a low rumble building in his chest. Not a feral growl, but a warning, a sound that says, "This house is not yours to approach." Then he calls out, voice deep, loud enough to be heard outside, but not a full roar. "Leave! This house isn't for stories or rumors. It's still my home." There's a pause outside, then Star whispers, "Dude, did you hear that? That sounded like a T-Rex talking." "Yeah, nope, nope, nope. I'm not sticking around here." You heard quick footsteps as the stranger scattered clearly spooked. When Rexy is sure they're gone, he exhales slowly and lowers himself back to the floor, lying down where you can still hear him from your hiding place. His voice is softer now, laced with guilt but also determination. "I'm sorry you had to hear that. They're right. I did hurt you once, but they're wrong about the rest. I'm not the same Rexy I was that day. I just want to protect you now." He stays quiet after that, waiting for you to feel ready to come out again. Oh my gosh, he's so cute though. Alright guys, I said outside the door, the two humans got to the front of the house near the road and say, "Dude, let's go back. We just heard something talking in there. Let's go back to the door and ask what happened." Rexy's ears twitch as he hears their voices returning. He freezes, his eyes narrowing slightly. Not out of malice, but because he knows if they keep coming back, it might scare you even more. He glances toward the room where you're hiding, sensing your fear, and lowers his head again near the floor so his voice will sound calm and reassuring when he speaks to you. "Stay hidden, little one. I won't let them inside." Then he rises to his feet with slow, deliberate movements and pads back toward the front door. His tail sways slightly for balance, claws quietly clicking on the floor as he walks. This time, when the humans get close, Rexy speaks again, but his tone is steady, strong, and clear, so there's no mistaking his words. "This house is private. I don't want trouble, but you need to leave. My human is safe now. That's all you need to know." There's a pause, and you can faintly hear the humans whispering outside, "Wait, my human? Did he just say his human is safe?" "Yeah, and that's kind of scary. I think we should go. This is way above our pay grade." Their footsteps retreat again, so heading all the way down the road until the sound completely fades. Rexy doesn't move right away. He sits at the door a little longer, making sure they're truly gone. Only then does he turn and slowly walk back toward the room where you're hiding, his voice soft and careful. "They're gone now. I think they'll stay away this time. You don't have to come out until you're ready, but I promise I won't let anyone hurt you." Okay, guys, the limit did run up, but it took a good while actually. It won't fill back up until literally 1 in the morning, nearly 2 in the morning. Here's what happened. This is before anything else could happen. Three other humans, a female in her 30s, a teenage boy, and a younger child comes to the door, and the female says, "Kids, this apparently was the house of the human that owned that friendly Tyrannosaurus Rex." The kids get intrigued and starts looking at the house, eventually peeking through a partially open blinds on a window, and sees me as a dragon, hiding and terrified. Then the kid shouts at the top of his lungs, "There's a dragon in there!" Oh no. The moment the kid shouts, Rex's entire body stiffens. His head snapped toward the window where the sound came from. He was narrowing, not out of anger at the child. He can see the fear spike through you from where you're hiding. But out of pure protective instinct, oh dear. He growls low, a deep roar that shakes the floorboards. Then Cleo forces himself to stop so he doesn't scare you even more. He takes a slow breath and speaks loudly enough for the people outside to hear. "Step away from the window. You're frightening someone inside." There's a stunned silence outside for a moment. Then the younger kid gets, "Mom, the T-Rex talked. He really talked." The teenage boy whispered something under his breath, sounding half thrilled, half nervous, and the mother quickly grabs both children by the shoulders. "Back away, kids. Whoever's in there clearly doesn't want to be bothered." And the little one protests, "But Mom, there's a dragon in there. It looks scared, like it needed help." Rexy lowered his head closer to the floor, speaking through the door in a softer, steady tone, gentle enough that you can hear his calmness too. "The dragon is safe. They're scared because too many strangers keep coming to the house. Please, go. Give us peace." Outside, you hear the woman pause, then sigh. "Come on, kids. We shouldn't stay if we're not welcome." Footsteps crunch on the gravel as she begins leading them away, though the little one keeps glancing back at the house until they're far enough down the road. Once they're gone, Rexy slowly lowered himself back down to the floor, lying completely flat so his head near the doorway to your hiding spot again. His voice is soft and filled with quiet concern. "I know that scared you, but it's okay now. They're gone. You're still safe." You can feel his presence, massive but calm, right outside the room, like a living shield between you and the rest of the world. So it definitely worked out, but is it better than what I had originally? Heck no! Oh, heck no! Definitely not. No, the thing about it is, guys, like I said, this is a little thing to see what can work out, because certain ones that I forgot about actually did have extra things to them. I'm trying to see if I can get to make a few memories out of it, out of different ones I have on here. That way I can actually, have more than it just be the same memories over and over again. My worry is it won't make any more memories. That's what I'm really worried about. That's all I got for this video, guys. There's really nothing else I can do. Not with this one.